at his age and with the position that he holds, I would have expected him to have become more evolved, because all this pettiness, I mean, who does it serve at the end of the day? Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and that you had a great week. To all of my house guests, come in, make yourselves at home, make yourselves comfortable. If you're visiting my channel for the first time and you'd like to become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I'm Chez, this is Chez M0i, welcome to my place.
House rules. Please do not watch this video if you have absolutely no interest in the subject matter, as indicated by the thumbnail. You struggle to simply accept other people's opinions when they don't necessarily align with yours. You're a professional point misser. You are not able to engage respectfully. Remember that there are countless other channels that cater specifically to your needs and preferences. Therefore, please feel free to exit this video and engage with their content instead. Anyone that knows me knows that I love studying languages, and sometimes I feel sorry for those whose first language is not English, because there are so many idioms and expressions that are really quirky. Smoke and mirrors is one such turn of phrase that kind of makes me smile, and Britannica.com defines this as something that seems good but is not real or effective, and that is done especially to take attention away from something else that is embarrassing or unpleasant. So in today's video, I think I'm gonna require a bit more interactivity from my house guests, because there's a lot to unpack regarding what's happened since this Byline Times article has been published. As you recall, Byline Times began publishing their findings regarding the secret meetings and payoffs involving the royal family and the British media, and how this sequence of events culminated in Harry and Meghan having to flee the UK. That's been about a week now, and I understand that there are still more revelations to be uncovered. Two things I noticed in the last 7 days. Firstly, none of those who've had allegations levelled at them have refuted the claims, to my knowledge. And there appears to have been a media blackout in the UK in relation to these revelations. These observations, together with the fact that Byline Times is the same publication who exposed Dan Wootton earlier this year, leads one to reach the conclusion that there is truth in these claims, and it's finally out there. And while Byline Times continues to publish more details about claims that can't seem to be refuted, the British media is trying to divert your attention to other royal related news. Gary Goldsmith, apparently a self-made millionaire through the sale of his IT company, the brother of Carol Middleton, the 4 times married uncle of Kate, who has a very colourful past, including a sentence for a 12-month community order with 20 sessions of rehab and a £5,000 fine for physically assaulting his wife, is apparently writing a tell-all book about Harry and Meghan to give the Middletons a voice. He's been thinking about writing this book since 2013, allegedly. So 10 years. What's interesting to me is the fact that he didn't appear to be forthcoming in bailing his sister out in relation to her huge tax bill. Could be an indication that he's no longer able to splash the cash and hopes this so-called tell-all memoir is going to generate much needed funds. And apparently Harry and Meghan are supposed to be really angry about it. I defer to your greater knowledge, guys, in asking, what amount of time has this man spent with Harry and Meghan? Is it fair to say that anything he thinks is worth sharing would only be a rehash of what his niece and her husband may have shared with him? Does anyone really care what this man has to say? Personally, I doubt it, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. Our attention is also diverted to Charles and Camilla. Now, in earlier videos, I alluded to the likelihood that the landscape of the Commonwealth would change significantly after the Queen passed away. Charles and Camilla were on a 4-day tour in Kenya this week, and things didn't seem to be going as smoothly as they'd hoped. Now, the elephant in the room on this tour was the Mau Mau Rebellion, also known as the Mau Mau Uprising. The Mau Mau movement began as a secret society in the early 1950s, but soon evolved into an armed rebellion. The movement was characterised by guerrilla warfare and attacks on British colonial authorities, European settlers, and other Kenyan Africans who were seen as collaborators with the British. The British response to the uprising entailed massive roundups of suspected Mau Mau and supporters, with large numbers of people hanged and up to 150,000 Kikuyu held in detention camps. Many Mau Mau rebels and armies based themselves in the forests of Mount Kenya and Aberdares. Officially, the number of Mau Mau and other rebels killed was 11,000, including 1,090 convicts hanged by the British administration. Just 32 white settlers were killed in the 8 years of emergency.
It is the intimacy of our shared history that has brought our people together. However, we must also acknowledge the most painful times of our long and complex relationship. The wrongdoings of the past are a cause of the greatest sorrow and the deepest regret. There were abhorrent and unjustifiable acts of violence committed against Kenyans as they waged, as you said at the United Nations, a painful struggle for independence and sovereignty. And for that, there can be no excuse. In coming back to Kenya, it matters greatly to me that I should deepen my own understanding of these wrongs, and that I meet some of those whose lives and communities were so grievously affected. None of this can change the past, but by addressing our history with honesty and openness, we can perhaps demonstrate the strength of our friendship today. And in so doing, we can, I hope, continue to build an ever closer bond for the years ahead. As Jomo Kenyatta said, our children may learn about the heroes of the past. Our task is to make ourselves the architects of the future.
While King Charles made an acknowledgement expressing regrets, there was no apology. People, can we just accept the fact that no apology will ever be forthcoming when it comes to these matters? All of this is done purely for the sake of PR, not because they actually mean it. They couldn't care less. It's all for show. Camilla actually didn't seem to want to be there. And I think it's safe to say that Charles doesn't have to worry about this particular wife outshining him, let alone trying to eclipse him. And as you can see, he doesn't appear to be shining all that brightly himself either. And on the final day of this tour, which I think prematurely has been branded a success, but who am I to question anything? Charles has gathered round the religious leaders to promote peace. Help me, house guests. How are you, as the patriarch of your family, going to promote peace in a region thousands of miles away when you can't even promote peace within your own family? How does that work then? The media are also diverting your attention to William because the alleged affair rumours are resurfacing. We're not sure why these rumours have resurfaced again. Not that I could care less. Not interested. I just find it funny that if apparently he's paid off these journalists to keep stories like this out of the media, should he now demand a refund? Or are certain sections of the media deciding to turn slightly against William because of the revelations in the Byline Times article? Now, if the rumours regarding an affair are true, it shouldn't really come as a shock if you understand that kings in waiting are almost expected to behave like this. Does it make it right? Absolutely not. Any semblance of morality dictates that this is unacceptable. However, if the British public now accept the King's former mistress as today's Queen, not Queen Consort as Elizabeth II instructed, they shouldn't be surprised if history repeats itself in the next 10 to 20 years when it comes to William and Kate. And perhaps this is just one of the reasons why the negative deflection towards Harry and Meghan is so intense. And speaking of deflection, what interests me much more than any affair that William could be having is why he's so concerned about Meghan's engagement ring. This article is taken from themirror.co.uk, published on the 19th of October 2023. Prince William committed to finding Meghan Markle's missing engagement ring. Prince William has reportedly been concerned after Meghan Markle stopped wearing the ring, which was made with diamonds originally belonging to his late mother, Princess Diana. Prince William is reportedly committed to finding Meghan Markle's £140,000 engagement ring after it disappeared from her finger. The royal is apparently keen to uphold his promise to preserve his mother's legacy, according to a jewellery expert. Meghan's ring from her 2017 engagement to Prince Harry was missing from her finger for the entirety of the Invictus Games. Can I just interject here? Does that mean that William was watching every single second of the Invictus Games just to see whether she had the ring on? Did he get someone to actually watch the whole of the games on his behalf? This isn't making sense. Now expert Stefano Pietrini from Watches and Crystals has suggested why the Duchess of Sussex has not been seen wearing her ring of late. He explained, "It has been revealed that this removal has been completely unrelated to her relationship with the Duke of Sussex. Unfortunately, there have been issues with the setting of the ring, which has resulted in the stones becoming loose. As two of the stones are part of Princess Diana's collection, there is even more urgency when it comes to protecting the ring." He explained, that any issues which risk the safety of the diamonds are immediately dealt with to prevent damage. Stefano said Meghan is currently getting the ring fixed. Stefano also told GB News, his opinion on why Prince William would be so worried about the absence of the ring from Meghan's finger. He said, Prince William's primary concern for the location of Meghan's engagement ring has solely to do with the sentimental attachment of the late Princess Diana's diamonds. He added that it is no surprise that William is committed to preserving his mother's legacy, with her jewellery being a big part of that. Diana is said to have ensured her jewellery collection was inherited by both William and Harry, so they could have an even share. Stefano gave a detailed valuation of the ring itself. He described the ring is worth a total of approximately £140,000, with the central diamond sourced from Botswana attributing to the highest value of £115,000. Surprisingly, the two smaller stones of Princess Diana's, placed on either side of the central diamond, are valued at a lower figure of roughly £4,000 each. And so the article continues. Your interactivity is required yet again because I need someone to enlighten me. As a 41-year-old man with familial and constitutional responsibilities, why is the whereabouts of an engagement ring that doesn't belong to him allegedly at the top of William's priority list 6 years after his brother presented it to his now sister-in-law? Was William's wife not given jewellery from the Queen and Princess Diana's collections? Is that still not enough? Since he's allegedly so hung up on diamonds, I guess it slipped William's mind that on the day of his coronation, like his father and his grandmother before him, he will be holding the sceptre containing the Cullinan diamond from South Africa, and he'll be wearing the crown set with the Kohinoor diamond from India. Does he plan on returning each diamond to their respective countries of origin anytime soon? Has William's energy for the UK's homelessness crisis now dissipated? Did he even have any real energy for that to begin with? Has he just become really bored very quickly because it's not exciting enough for him? Would it be fair to say that what's more exciting for him is to be laser focused on what his brother and sister-in-law are doing thousands of miles across the Atlantic? Is that the reason? Is that is that what's going on? As next in line to the British throne, I would have expected William to develop leadership skills becoming of a king. I would expect him to get his own house in order before he actually becomes king, but if he felt betrayed and ashamed by his mother when she took part in the infamous Panorama interview, his behaviour towards his brother shouldn't really come as a surprise. For those people online who are convinced that Harry wishes he were next in line to the British throne,
smaller, younger brother, sister. So we'll wait and see. The family continues to grow.
And of course, with that growing family, your prospects of becoming king will reduce, won't you?
Great. Good morning. It's 6 a.m. on the 14th of March, and we are on the Freedom Flight. We are leaving Canada, and we are headed to Los Angeles.
it's evident that Harry is free to choose his own path and live life on his own terms. whereas William's destiny was determined from the day he was born, and it could be argued that William holds a lot of resentment towards his brother and sister-in-law because they don't have to jump through hoops or take part in secret financial agreements in order to ensure increased and sustained popularity.
Now, sometimes when I'm doing these videos, it's difficult to tell whether William understands that as next in line to the throne, he's held to a much higher standard. Whether he accepts it or not, that is the reality. At some point in the future, he will become head of state of multiple nations, not just the UK. And as such, he will be engaging continuously with other heads of state who, for the most part, don't engage in this type of nonsense, or at least they're not seen to be engaging in this type of nonsense. We've already witnessed that consistent manipulation of the press, of the media on a larger scale has resulted in tragically devastating and far-reaching consequences. But arguably, I guess because of a sense of pride or inflated ego, we just expect next in line to the throne to continue adopting the use of these smoke and mirrors, because that's the only way he seems to know how to survive. At his age and with the position that he holds, I would have expected him to have become more evolved, because all this pettiness, I mean, who does it serve at the end of the day? If he, as I alluded to earlier, behaved like this with his own mother because he felt a sense of embarrassment because of things that she revealed, it's not going to change with Harry and Meghan. You know, he feels aggrieved, and that type of personality, I've come up against it before. He will not forget. He's the type of person who will hold a grudge. That's what it seems like to me. And this is why Harry and Meghan just have to get on with their lives and never look back. If your thoughts were provoked in any way, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you shall catch me in the next video.